Good morning. How are you all? Are you all doing good? Good. I see a lot of smiles out there. That's marvelous. I'm Sherry Humes, and I'm the service assistant for today. Oh my gosh, do we have music for you? I mean, we already started, so you can feel it going already, but we have Kate and Cheryl this morning. And then we have our dear brother JP as well. That's going to be awesome. And then Frank's going to tell you about his message.
Hi, everyone. I'm Reverend Frank. If anyone's here new, I think I know everybody here. Maybe, yeah. The talk today is that thriving divine economy. And so we do a little play on words. And for those of you in Mary O'Malley's class, you'll recognize much of this. But even if you're not, it's really fascinating what the divine, not the capitalistic, socialistic, libertarian, whichever, feudal, whatever other economy you can think of. What's the divine economy? So this will be fun. Yeah.
And so as we move into time of prayer and meditation, please hold the words of this beautiful hymn quietly in your heart.
When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray.
We join in prayer. Feel the comfort in knowing, experiencing that we are more than two gathered together. Our collective prayer flows out in waves upon waves of focused desire. When we pray together, ripples of focused desires become waves which collectively becomes a tsunami of energy. In prayer, we affirm our love of Gaia, Mother Earth. We reach out to all beings of this planet and wish them love, peace, health, safety, and happiness. We individually send ripples of energy to those we love. To those we love for clarity of next steps, for expanded prosperity, for what it is they desire. And we hold them in our thoughts for that goodness. So take a moment to pray for something first now that you desire. And now, if you like, please be at ease to say anyone's name aloud you hold in devoted prayer for their well-being. And we say thank you, thank you. And so it is. I invite you now into a nourishing time of meditation. Think of this as a spa for your heart, mind, and emotions. Begin by focusing on your breath. Feel the air move in and out. And as you breathe, now take a deeper breath in and slowly release. In the calm of meditation, we feel our spiritual reserves. We give our body rest. We open our mind to vast potential. As you breathe, begin to listen to the whispering of your heart. Affirm within, my heart is receptive, my inner eye is open. Open and receptive, you are resting in the presence of pure love. Here is a beauty, a gentle flow of divine love. In this space, you feel the pulse of Source Divine. You are at the vault of potential well-being. Imagine your inner vault of potential. What does it look like? What is inside? What will you choose to fortify your well-being? More meditation? A cleaner, more healthy diet? To choose love first. To see God as present in all things. Only you know. As the bowls support your exploration, breathe and listen and create with Source Divine.
Something deep moves the forest. Something deep moves with ease. Something deep moves like water. Something deep moves the tree. I've been the atmosphere. I've been far and near. Never been so deep. I've never been so deep. Heard your name whispered in the winter. Heard your name on the breeze. Brought me down to the ocean. Brought me down to one knee. I've been the atmosphere, and I've been far and near. Never been so deep. Never been so deep. I'm like water poured from ancient prayers and melodies. I pour like water when you set me free. Set me free. I've been the atmosphere. I've been far and near. Never been so deep. Never been so deep.
Ooh, yeah, chill bumps. I gotta think. I'm. A lot of times when the music's going on, I'm sort of listening, but I'm thinking of, okay, my talk, right? And I'm like, forget the talk. What? That was like, oh man. Ah. So here's sitting in that energy. Today I want to introduce you to a theme. And this is more likely the theme that's going to follow through for the month, because it's going to be pretty hard to do it all in 20 minutes. But the theme it goes like this. I was thinking, and I've mentioned this before, but I've been sinking into this a little deeper, that for this master teacher, Jesus, who's one of my master teachers, along with many others, but a primary, if not the primary teacher for me, had a sense where he used a metaphor. It's a metaphor. Okay, it's not a thing. It's a metaphor. And this metaphor that he liked to use, what was this thing he called the empire of the divine, sometimes translated the kingdom of God or the kingdom of heaven or the realm of heaven, or we hear it translated many different ways. But it's hard to understand, to really get a sense of why that this teacher would use, this rabbi would use this term, is you have to remember that he was sitting there in the midst of this oppressive, tyrannical Roman Empire. And I say it was oppressive and tyrannical, and also there was a lot of things like commerce and the flow of energy, the flow of money and goods and trade, and there was a great peace in the day, the Pax Romana they called it, which basically meant toe the line or we kill you. And it sort of worked, if you will. You could travel out through all this Roman Empire, and if you ended up crossing the line, you get crucified. And I don't mean that figuratively. Bandits and other people who did anything against the empire. So it was this empire. And if we read the translation, you go back and you see this thing that Jesus talked about all the time, and we now say the kingdom of God. But I think that was sort of a translation that came from feudal times when there was kingdoms. How many of you have been to a kingdom recently? How many of you have been like, oh, that place is called the Empire of so-and-so? These are metaphors, not a thing. It was like there's this thing that's happening in the realm of the divine that's in our lives presently and still coming, but presently. And I'm trying, Jesus would say, this teacher would say, I'm trying to explain this thing in a way that makes sense. Do you know this thing out there, this Roman Empire? Well, this is not that. It's actually very different than that. It's called the divine empire. The kingdom of God, we say. The divine empire. So I wondered, here's the fun. And if you tell me later you went to lunch and you were talking to somebody or chatting with somebody you know, and you're like, how does this work in my life? What's the metaphor that works now, 2025, if you're a citizen of the United States of America? What would we say? And I'm pondering this. It's like, divine empire, no, that doesn't really, kingdom of God, and I don't know anything about kingdoms. What works? And I'm driving home, and all of a sudden I've got, public radio on, NPR on. All of a sudden, Kai Rizdal, Marketplace, Marketplace. What's life like in this economy? And I went, what's this economy? Do you mean this American economy, this capitalist economy? And if I was to not say what my teacher said, but if I was to do and try to say, okay, let's try to do what Jesus did in his time, in our time, 2,000 years later, I might say the equivalent thing to a divine empire would be, what's the divine economy? What's that divine economy? Not the capitalist economy. Oh, and then I had fun. Google. Who's the richest person in the capitalist economy? Oh, that's easy. It's Zuckerberg and Musk. And you know all the people. Okay. Google. Who's the richest person in the divine economy? Searching. I love when I can stump Google, right? Searching. It's complicated. And I thought, no, it's not. It's just that we don't use that language in our general parlance, in our world. And I want to suggest, and what I want to talk about is the divine economy. Later, you may go with some friends at lunch and go, well, wait a second, what about, we live in a healthcare system. What's a divine healthcare system? I'm in this relationship with friends. What's a divine relationship? What does that look like? This is that flip the script sense that our teacher Jesus was trying to teach us in these lessons, in these parables, in these great stories. Yeah. So I'm reading Mary O'Malley, and this is the book we're doing, about 20 of us in this class over many nights. And she talks about it, and the book is called What's in the Way is the Way. What do you mean? What's in the way is in the way, isn't it? No, it's the way. And we've been having fun flipping the script, and seeing that there's this way of what shows up in our life in these structures that we want to hold, like economic structures, for example. And by the way, she talks about you can do this with health. You can do this with relationships. I said this, you can do this with people. You can do this. But what I want to focus on today is just economy, to pick one lane in the divine economy. And what shows up and one of the difference between divine economy and a capitalist economy is in the capitalist economy, you could say there's winners, the one with the most stuff. And in the divine economy is the winner is the one with the most love. And it's not even a winner or loser. The invitation into the divine economy is an invitation to play in the realm of compassion and in the realm of sharing. And then so that what shows up, instead of being like, oh my God, this is a thing that I have to measure and there's a metric and it's good or bad and all that stuff, it's like, stop judging. In the divine economy, what comes in is what we're ready to play with. It's like, well, does this work out into a parent, a better or worse or higher or lower? Can I measure it? Can I win or lose? And all of that is off the table in the divine economy. In the divine economy, it's like all that comes into my life is to be celebrated. Here's an interesting poem. This comes from the mystic Rumi. This being human is a guest house. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival. Every day, something new showing up. You know that one. A joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Let me say that again. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. You see, it's not the thing itself. It's not. It's something shows up, and what am I doing in my consciousness with that thing? Something shows up, and it's in the divine realm, in this divine economy, it's like, okay, it's showing up, and I'm going to say, this is for me. Is everything for me? Yeah, it's for me. Well, that doesn't seem for me. Well, then let's get curious. This is a key part of what we've been studying. Let's get curious. Why does that thing showing up in my life, and it's not even so much about thing, and then I respond, I have a perception, I have a reaction to that event, to that thing, that whatever shows up, and then I go, what is that perception? What is that about? Some momentary awareness comes, and that's unexpected. And he says, all these things, these sorrows, these joys that show up, welcome and entertain them all. Come on in. Have a seat. Wasn't expecting you today. I didn't really want you today, but come on in. Have a seat. Even if they are a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. You were wondering, did they just forget that broom and it's sitting up there? Even if it shows up violently sweeping away your house, violently sweeping away your house. How do you violently sweep? Like, They're showing up and they're sweeping the house. And what I love about this is just to hear that. But, I was getting ready and I took out the broom and I started sweeping the house. I'm like, this feels good. Sweeping away all your furniture. Did you notice the foyer? Thank you, Rosemary, and others who helped clean up the foyer. We swept up the foyer and we got rid of a lot of furniture. Did you notice? You noticed. And it's all of a sudden, it's fresh and it's open and it's clean. And it's ready for new things like sweeping out the old and sweeping the furniture. And these unexpected guests, even the ones you really didn't want, have this alchemy where they open something in us. You say, what are you about? I'm curious. And they're there and they start sweeping away everything that we might have thought, might have held on to, might have assumed was right or wrong. Drop those, good or bad. Oh my God, get rid of that. Curious, mysterious. Even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture, treat each of those guests honorably. They may be clearing you out for some new delight. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each one has been sent as a guest from the beyond. Each one has been sent as a guest from the beyond. In the divine economy, we don't panic. In the divine economy, we say, what's that about? I'm curious. What gift has that brought? What gift? What has this honorable expression, this thing that's happening? And not only so much even the thing that's happening, but my consciousness, my response, or maybe my reaction to the thing. What is that about? Curious. It's here to violently sweep away even all the furniture. And nevertheless, I honor it as an honorable guest into my life. In the divine economy, we're not judging by some metrics of more. In the divine economy, we're allowing what is that shows up in our life as an honorable guest and saying, that's what's on my plate to deal with. And that's okay. Not only is it okay, that's good. It has been sent as a guest to me for my life and for my beneficence from the beyond. And it's all welcome. It's all welcome in the divine economy, in the divine healthcare system, in the divine, however metaphor makes sense for you and your life right now. It depends on what's alive for you. Yeah. There's a story, and this coincides with it, with Rabbi Jesus, this teacher told us. And he went to a party, and he went in, and he looked around, and he said to the host, thank you for inviting me. This is in Luke 14. But I noticed that you only invited people who are going to invite you back. Next time you have a party, invite some people who are poor and blind and lame, disabled. They won't be able to invite you back. They won't be able to. It's okay. Invite them instead. Little shocking. And the interesting thing is you can read that for its literal value, which is great, and read that for its value as a metaphor, as a metaphysical sort of look at. Invite people who are the blind, and they're not seeing it. That's all of us, by the way. And who are disabled. Yeah, have a blind spot. Aren't kind of working out. That's all of us, by the way. Invite people. So in the regular economy, it's an interchange for each other's mutual benefit. And the divine economy is, I'm here for you. Maybe I can help. Maybe I can serve. Maybe this is the place where I can show up and be in love. Maybe it comes back, maybe it not. That's not the point. And so there was a person stand there and said, teacher, how well you speak. You know, how blessed are all they who show up in the realm of heaven, in the realm of the divine, in the divine empire. I can't wait for it to come. Wait for it to come? Guess what? It's already here. It's already here. And it doesn't matter whether we were in 13th century feudal Europe or 16th century feudal Japan or Roman Empire or this empire or that empire. All of that doesn't matter. All those empires, all those economies have come and gone, and those expressions have turned and changed. But the divine economy keeps going. Because it's here, and it's still unfolding. And it unfolds right in the midst, the divine economy unfolds right in the midst of the capitalist economy. It's like right in the middle of it. And so Jesus turns to this person and he says, oh, Blessed are they who show up in the great banquet of the realm of God. So once there was a great party, and the invitations went out, and then people started writing back, sorry, can't go to the great banquet, just bought some oxen, and I got to go tend to them. Oh, I can't go either. I just bought a property, huge parcel of land. I have to go tend to this. I have to go check it out. Oh, I can't come right now. I just got married. Busy. Just got married. I can't, for some reason I got married, so I can't come to a feast. Well, you could bring them. I mean, you could do that, but no. Excuse. And so the banquet person, they got the master of the banquet was upset, told all the servants, go out and grab anybody you can, anybody. Bring them to the party. This realm of the divine, this divine economy needs to be full. It needs to be happening. It needs to be energized. It needs to be exciting. Bring everyone. And again, the poor, the lame, the disabled, those who are least among us, let them come in. They're first. Let them be first. Let them sit at the front of the table. And so the servant went out and just started grabbing people and said, come, and came back and said, I grabbed everybody I could, but there's still some chairs left. And the master said, not good enough. Go get more people. Bring it all. Bring it all. All the woundedness back in our subconscious. All the anything that's playing in our mind that says, I'm not good enough, bring that. I can't do it. Oh, bring that. If you knew how ashamed I was of this, yeah, bring that. But I feel so guilty about it. Yeah, bring that. Well, don't you want my best stuff? Don't you want my super pro? Yeah? Oh, sure, bring that too. Bring it all. All of it is welcome. Not welcome in the sense of like, welcome's a funny word. It's like, oh, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome is just like, it doesn't matter. The door is open. And it's not like, well, I guess you can come in. It's like, no, please. All of that. In the divine economy, it's not like the winners win and everybody else is out. The table is flipped. The script is totally 180. That parts of us, and you can read it metaphysically, like the parts of us that we are feel most vulnerable about, that's what we bring. That's what we bring. You go, but that's an unexpected guest. I don't like that. Yeah, but it's coming in to sweep the floor violently of all the furniture to make room for some hidden delight. As Rumi, the poet Rumi would say, it makes room for this hidden delight. This is good news. Yeah, we can bring all of that in. So I'm thinking of this. I got 2 minutes left. I'm thinking of this about on a very also the reasonable level. We had a visioning last Saturday, and like 18 people came, and we had a great session. I'll tell you more about it as we go, but one of the things that came up is as a community, we see ourselves and feel ourselves as a community that's open to the other, inclusive. In what way? Well, what way would it not be? Young or demographic or, whatever it might be, can we be open to the other? And this divine economy, this divine realm, this divine consciousness, this divine way of being in the world says exactly that to be open to the other, and especially the most vulnerable, whether that's really or all of us who feel so poor or lame or blind or crippled or all the things that the words that Jesus used are welcome into that place and into here and into our lives and for the interplay. And early this morning, someone showed up and said, I need to speak to the minister. And just leave it aside, the whole situation. But they said, can you really take time with me right now? It's 40 minutes before service. And if you know, I come in early and I'm busy. 40 minutes before service is a busy time for me. We're setting up, we're getting ready. And I went, oh, that's funny, God. So I know what I'm going to talk about today, and you send somebody to the door 40 minutes before who's sweating and shaking. I really need to talk to a minister. So, what do? Do you say, forget getting ready for service and give them 100% of the time? Do you say, I'll set you up an appointment for Tuesday at 1? Do you say, go away? We're not open for the poor, the blind, the lame, the people who are struggling to come in? You don't know it, I said. You're waiting. And I said, well, tell me just in a nutshell, one thing. What's going on? And he said, oh, you'll love this. Well, actually, I'm not going to tell you. Maybe it's a little personal. But he told me, like in a sentence, an experience. And I said, please come talk to me. I want to hear that. And he says, are you telling me I'm leave? I've called to so many pastors and nobody wants to listen to me. Are you another minister that says, I don't want to listen to you? And I said, I want to listen. I want to hear your story so much. And Tuesday at 1 o'clock, I'm here. If this works, if this is really something you want, I'm really here for you. And is this the right time? Right now, while people are showing up, coming in the driveway, and we're getting ready for service. I don't know. What would you have done? Think about that. What would you have done? And fortunately, I came in and I told Kate this story, or Cheryl, and said, well, maybe there's a lesson for you, and there was a lesson for the other person. And somehow, in some way, so unless you think I'm saying this is all easy, and it's easy to work with people, other people, those who are struggling, obviously, those who have issues, obviously, in their life. I don't know what the issue was. Those who are really looking for a connection. Oh, that's easy. I don't think so. In the divine economy, in this divine realm, is so important. And I grabbed him by the hand and I looked him in the eyes and I said, please come see me on Tuesday. What does Mary O'Malley say? We say to ourselves and to the other, I see you. I'm not blowing you off. I'm not brushing you off. I see you in you, and I see you in me, and I see that we're in this together. And we just did this visioning, and we're open and we're inclusive, and someone comes in, and here's somebody to be included, and I'm like, I'm busy. Can you come see me on Tuesday? What would you do? And I'm not saying there's a right or wrong, but when we get into the divine economy, the play of the divine, it's almost like there's this piece in our mind that has to switch. The way we determine what's the next right step for me, and so much of the time we're listening to news or to people or to stories. We're in a milieu. We're embedded in the capitalist economy, and it's up to us. And we can talk. And that's why I've said this many times. I would love if you take this story and go talk about it over lunch or over dinner or all week. How is the divine realm, the divine economy, the divine healthcare system, the divine platform of your world showing up for you, and how it stands against, and in what ways can we see that turning exactly on its head from what we think is the normal way of living in the United States of America in a capitalist economy in 2025. And we want to say, as our master teacher, Rabbi Jesus said, flip it on its head. Just flip that a whole 180 degrees. And then the breakthrough. We see with new eyes in a new way. No right, no wrong. Just opening to that energy. So please close your eyes with me for a second, if you would. And take that deep breath and just resonating and carrying that energy of the morning music and the bells and JP and these parables and these teachings of our great teacher, this Rabbi Jesus, who brought us these great parables, stories that reach deep into our hearts. And feel that energy of that divine realm, that divine economy, that divine matrix, that divine surprise. That says all those things we were pushing off internally, now welcome those in. All those things we were frightened of, what is it for you? Oh my God, don't let that happen. Don't bring that into my life. I hope she doesn't call. Switch it. I hope she does call. I hope he does show up. I hope I get to have that conversation. I am willing to go get in my journal now and work on that. What is it for me? I'm so curious about what I'm afraid of, what I'm pushing back against, what feels like it brings me a sense of unsettledness in my own heart, in my own soul. I'm so curious. And the divine economy, it is welcome. Let your energy just spread out for a minute. What is it that you don't want to welcome? Don't want to welcome? Is there anything that you're going, not that? And then say, I am welcome, at least in consciousness, to look at my resistance, my fear, my angst, my anxiety. I'm just curious. How is this for me? What does this teach me? What do I know about this that allows myself to live more fully into this divine energy? All is welcome here. All is welcome. And we'll sit with that for a moment or two in the silence. In the silence. Oh, I've got some really fun announcements today. Here they are. First off, is we've had a little change in how we're managing our cleaning the whole facility. And we've asked all the renters and everyone who comes, basically, before you go, and especially if you serve food, you need to vacuum and clean up and clean the kitchen and scrub. And a lot of people, that was part of it. And now we basically, and this makes sense, like imagine you go over to your friend's house and you have food and you have tea and you have coffee and you have whatever's being served. And before you go, what do you usually say to your friend? Hey, can I help you clean up? So we want to have a consciousness of, hey, can I help you clean up? And if we leave and have food and we don't vacuum, it doesn't get vacuumed. It's just that simple. So the simple ask is just to have sort of a heightened awareness, and this is really good for all of us, and it's really good for our budget, and it's really good for how we're moving forward, is let's be sure, especially when we have like a potluck, that as many people as possible, and you don't have to do it every week, but once in a while go, hey, I'll push the vacuum. And if you're here talking late and you look around, there's only a few people left, thanks for volunteering. That's really good. So the vacuums are right back here. And it doesn't take long to get, it's just wherever people are. And maybe if you eat, you can stay to the back. Go sit up front and drop a cracker or something. Anyhow, so it's just an ask for that. One of the things that came up that we've been trying, so I just want to suggest this, and you can play with these ideas too. So everybody's invited to play with this notion. But if you're like sitting here like Cheryl or Shari or Kent, can you guys see everybody over here? Yeah, it's really easy. So what we've been trying to do is maybe restructure how we sit. And one thing we found is for some people to get up and make a circle for the peace song has been a little, there's some challenges with that for people, for getting up and moving and the energy, and it just, so what we're asking, we're trying to play with, but people said, but I want to see everybody. So we're trying to make the chairs a little more half circle-ish so we can all see who's here and not have everybody to your side or your back where you have to crank your neck. Does that make sense? So if you're good at space design and you can kind of see how what we're trying, you know, the seats have been like, there's no rule. We can do whatever we want. We can move them all facing each other. But if you're good at that, if you have a vision and you have an idea of like, let's try it this way one Sunday. Let's try it that way one Sunday. But the idea is we want to see each other as we sit around. Does that make sense? And then we're not circling up for the peace song, but we're trying to do the best we can to appeal to that. By the way, thank you for Howard, Jay Scott, and all the folks. I've heard people had trouble getting on to see the Sunday service sometimes. Now, and I know you mentioned that, Todd. Now you should be able to go on and hit the button straight to YouTube. Did it work? Yeah, okay. Issue resolved? So for those of you online, I hope you found that okay. I'm speaking to the camera. You should be able to go, if you go to our website, it's going to take you a link to our YouTube page, or you can now go directly to Unity Bellingham at the YouTube site, and you should be able to watch the service. And we usually have it on, what time before service? Like 10 minutes? I think it starts streaming. 2 minutes? 20 minutes? Okay, great, 20 minutes, he says. I think if I read sign language, it's 20 minutes. Women of Unity, Tea, May 8th. What kind of day is May 8th, Rosemary? High tea, not just any tea, high tea. Are they cut the crust off kind of thing? Okay, high tea. We're going to use the best china? All right, high tea. May 8th, which is a Wednesday? Thursday, 11:45, Women of Unity, high tea. One thing I want to say, and this is a big announcement, we've been talking about that, if you haven't heard this, that the Unity Northwest Regional Conference is going to be here. September 17th and 19th. And because of that, what's happened is there's a buzz afoot. And all the kind of things that we've been wanting to do, like, yeah, one of these days we should paint the foyers. Yeah, one of these days we want to clean the, one of these days we're going to get to the back. We want to do it, yeah, it's May, and that's September. There is a lot of energy right now with a lot of people. You might, Rosemary and others already cleaned up the foyer and the front, and we're trying to, anything we find, we're ordering colored paint. I wanted just to let you know, and more to be announced. But there's a number of teams. There's an outside team, which is basically the Earth Care, and everything that Earth Care has been doing is now going to be like, if we wanted it done, it's going to be done by September. Jim Fackler is in charge of that. You can talk to Jane or me or other people who are, Sonia, or people who are involved in Earth Care. We usually meet once a month. I think we're going to meet a little more than that. And if you're interested in joining Earth Care, or that's one thing, you can talk to Jim or talk to me or talk to Sonia. But there's also an inside team. And the inside team is like Janae, Diane, Rosemary, Malin, there's some other people. And there probably can be some room for an inside team. But maybe you say, well, I really don't want to join a team, but I would like to volunteer. Once in a while I'll volunteer for something. Then you talk to Shari Humes, because Shari now is in charge of volunteers. She's already, thank you, by the way, got the food trucks ready and some other stuff preparing for the conference and all the food. And Shari's been already working on that. But she's in charge of, she's going to be calling you. I heard you, if you don't volunteer, maybe be voluntold. You get a cold. We really could use your help to do A, B, or C. We got a lot to do between now and then, and lots of hands make for, and it's going to be fun. Come on, guys, this is going to be great. And already you feel like the energy for all the cleaning up. We also have a signage team. There's a number of us working on a new sign to put on the building and then put out on the street. So that's coming really soon. Probably a parking lot team. We need to stripe the parking lot and put the signs, the paint for the disabled and all that. And another team I thought of, and we could talk maybe to chaplains, but others can be part of this, is the High Watch team. And between now and September, I think there can be a practice of prayer, just to hold the space for this unfolding of this conference. And I want to say, so it's a great success. Well, that would be in the capitalist economy, you might say that. But in the divine economy, so you say it's a great transformation of lives, a great transformation of unity, and a great bringer of gifts to our whole region, to us. And so as a final note to that, by the way, it's not just for ministers. Sometimes it's like a ministers or leaders. We have a track for musicians. And we have a track for board members. And we basically, if you want to come, any of you, to come and say, well, I'll go to board member stuff, leader stuff, music stuff, you are welcome. This is an open conference. It's $215 early registration at the Unity Northwest Regional website. You go in and sign up. We've already got a lot of people from Unity signed up for this. And anyhow, Daniel Nahmod, who we do a lot of his music, is going to do a workshop on Thursday afternoon and a concert here that night. If you sign up, you get a concert ticket, but also we're going to have an open concert that night for the whole city. Do you know Daniel Nahmod? And part of you probably heard his
Is that this
stuff.
coming Thursday?
It's September 18th.
Oh, okay.
September 18th.
Thank
Yeah. No, this is I'm talking for the conference. And the person, Sue Riley, who wrote I Choose Love, she's going to be here doing the music conference.
wow.
The CEO of Unity headquarters, Jim Blake, he usually calls in and zooms in and does a message, and he goes, "Where? Bellingham, Washington? Can I come?" So it's a bit of an attractive place for people to come to. So anyhow, if you want to sign up for all that are part of it, please do that. Okay, so two final things. First off, Kate, would you come forward for a second? Just put the mic down. You know, Kate, who's been here for years and just one of our favorite persons, and I don't want to get into all your business, but she's kind of moving on here and we may not see her to the conference now. So it's an exciting part. You can talk to her later about all she's doing. It sounds very exciting. But you've been such an amazing part and a gift to our community. And I think you all know like what Kate, and especially Kate and Cheryl, bring to this community. So love, bless, appreciate, behold the Christ. Let's give Kate a unity blessing, if you will. Get your hands nice and warmed up. Get that energy going. And you ready? So Kate, we love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ in you. Yeah, that you are the Christ in you. Thank you, Kate. Yeah. And also, see Kate go. But anyhow, I'm so excited for your journey. And whose birthday? Let me see, what month is this? May? May, 5. What's 5? May. Any May birthdays? Yeah, all right. Russ, Kent, come on up. May birthdays. Oh, Pat's birthday. Anyone else in May? Anyone from the back? Jim, are you a May? Jim Fackler is a May. Woo! Are you ready?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friends. Happy birthday to you. God is blessing you now. God is blessing